Welcome to this introduction to grading Canadian coins. A lot of what I'll be sharing is based on things I've learned from these books. I definitely recommend these books to anyone who is interested in coin grading. As well as these books on coin grading, there are a few other things you should have as well, including the proper lighting. Usually, when you are grading coins, it's recommended that the only source you use is a desk lamp like the one shown here. You want to be ideally in a room with only one light source, which is a desk lamp, with an incandescent bulb at a distance of about 60 centimeters. If you can't have this kind of light, whatever you do, don't use daylight, as it's the worst possible option. Now in this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps of the system beginner coin graders use. The system is called photo grading. The lowest grade given to a Canadian coin is Fair 2. While the highest grade a Canadian coin can receive is an MS67, there are several grades in between, but this is an introduction, and I'll only explain grades as needed. The first thing you need to do is locate graded photos of the coin you want to grade. I will be using this guide. It is a well-respected resource in the Canadian coin community, and I highly recommend that you get one. Today, I will be photo grading the reverse of a silver dime I have. The reverse of a Canadian coin is the side that does not have the monarch's head on it. Compare your coin to the images shown. With photo grading, it's not too difficult to do this, as it's very simple to spot the difference from one image to the other. However, there are some essential details to look for. One of the things you want to look out for is the coin's rim to see how worn down it is. This can usually be an indicator if your coin is a rather low grade. Be sure to look at the picture example shown and compare it to your coin. If your coin looks better than the picture's example, then it's likely a higher grade. Another detail you do not want to miss is the legend. Now, something you want to observe is how worn is the legend and if any lettering is missing from it. As well, remember, like before, be sure to look at the picture example shown and compare it to your coin. If your coin looks better than the picture's example, then it's likely a higher grade. For the Canadian 10 cent, which has the blue nose on it, the ship is a very important detail. If you look at a brand new 10 cent piece, something you may notice is the details of the ship. For example, the number of sails and the detail that is shown in them. One of the first details to be noticed in a lower graded Canadian dime is that the details are very worn. Now, like always, if your coin looks better than the picture's example, then it's likely a higher grade. One thing that is a good tell of a coin's grade is looking at its denomination. The reason for this is that usually a coin is held at the bottom and in the middle. So usually, the first part of the coin to be worn down significantly is the 10 cents part of the coin. Very low grade coins will have the denomination completely non-legible. A good rule of thumb is that the easier it is to see the details, the higher the grade it is. Now, you repeat the steps previously mentioned as you compare your coin to the images shown. One other tip I would recommend is doing a process of elimination. Take a look at your coin and see what the highest grade is that it could possibly be and what the lowest grade it could possibly be is. So I decided to show you the process of what I do personally on how I determine a coin's grade. Now, this isn't going to be a perfect method, and it's going to have its issues, but for starting off grading, if you have this book resource with you, it will come in handy quite a bit, and you will get a rough idea, or should at least, of what your coin's grade is. So anyways, as you can see, we're grading the reverse of the 10 cent coin, and essentially, what I do for coins like this is I just do a basic compare and contrast. Like, after looking at the details I showed you previously, and the other images, those are the things that you kind of look for. Like, take the rim for example, and the dates and all that other stuff. You keep an eye on that. However, let's take a look at the coin. You do something else, which I'm not too sure if I discussed already. However, I'll say it again if I haven't. That is the process of elimination, which is a very useful skill to have. Now, here is something that I would suggest you all do, is usually going back and forth between these two pages and like going from like, okay, the lowest to the highest and getting out this way. But since I already suspect that this coin is pretty highly graded, I'm just going to do it the way where you go from the bottom to the top and you kind of like stop at the top, if you know what I mean. Okay, so what I would do is I would take a look at G6. This is a G6 grade. This is the image that's coming up. Now, compare it to your coin. Now, this one, as you can see, almost already off the bat, for a number of reasons, it does not look like it's a G6. I can point out the reasons for you. For one, the Canada looks a little too nice. The date looks a lot nicer. This is a big giveaway here, is that you can actually still see the denomination, which says 10 cents on it, as well as the boat's detail. Like, there's basically nothing here for the sail or masts or anything. Well, on this coin, you can clearly see that detail still. So, you would move on to the next grade. Now, maybe I'll take novice graders a little bit of time to notice, but VG8 is just not even going to be close to like what this coin is going to be. For a number of reasons, again, like the date is legible, but it's still missing a lot. Well, this one, all the letters are very clear to see, which you can see right here, as well as the sail detail. It's just not that good. And yeah, there's other smaller things like the rim is more worn out than this coin itself. So then you move on to F12. Now it's starting to get a bit better, and to some novice graders who are really like, I don't know, kind of scared that they're going to get it wrong, they might go, okay, it's F12. No, this coin is a higher grade than F12. I can tell you a number of reasons why. For one, the date, the S is still worn out there. You can clearly see that the cents in this, the 10 cents, it's all on this coin completely visible. Completely visible right there. But this one, the S is cut off. So that's one key mark to think about. As well, the sail. Look at the sail detail and compare it to this coin's. It doesn't really look anything like it. This sail's detail is just a lot better. Now, moving on, you have the VF20. Now, the grades are starting to look a little bit more like this. However, it just seems more dull than this coin, if you ask me. Like, if you take a look at this coin, compare it to this coin, the details are better. I will say it. It's getting better than the previous grades. However, there's still a lot of issues with it. And again, I want to point to the sails, that the sail detail just doesn't really match with this sail detail. So it would be a vast undergrade if I was to say it's VF20. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it top to bottom. I'll show you an example from this page, as this is the page I suspect at least that the grade is on. Now, MS. This is the top to bottom strategy, remember. MS grade. I really doubt it's a mint state, because I found, firstly, one of the things you want to think about is, where did you find the coin? Now, where you found the coin is important because it'll tell you if it's a circulated or a non-circulated coin. If you found this coin in, like, say, a roll of 1962 Canadian silver dimes that have said never to be opened again, yeah, it's an uncirculated coin and it's going to be an MS. However, I found this while I was coin roll hunting. As you can see, found in coin roll in 2019, and the coin roll wasn't filled with 1962 silver dimes, so it's circulated. So immediately you can get rid of the MS. So then what you do is you look at VF30, the lowest grade on this, because we did GX to VF20. Now, what you can notice is that it is getting a bit better if you look at it. However, I still would say the sail detail on the blue nose just isn't as good as the coins, so I would cut that one out. Now, you're stuck between two grades. You have your EF40 and you have your AU50. Now, I'm going to just say it to you all that I'm no expert, and I'm going to show you what grade that I pick in the next slide. And yeah, I'm going to explain to you on that, as this video explanation has already gone a little long. And yeah, see you there. I have decided that the grade for this coin is the one pictured here, an EF40. I did something called undergrading the coin. However, even though you may be told that both over and undergrading a coin is not something you want to do, if you are going to do it, it's best to undergrade the coin. So, if you're having trouble trying to figure out if your coin is one grade or the other, it's best to pick the lower of the two grades. Now, getting a second opinion on your coins is always a good idea. Even experienced coin graders will take their nicer coins to grading services. The reason for this is that grading your own coins is giving them something that's called a raw grade. A raw grade is a grade that is given to a coin by a regular coin grader. To get a certified grade, you need to send your coin to a third-party coin grading service. This is an example of a Canadian coin grading site you can use to get a coin graded. It's a good way to increase a coin's value and is more trusted in the coin collecting community. However, it's good to have a rough idea of the coin grade to see if it's worth sending it to the coin grading company. To conclude this video, I want to show you this correspondence course. This is part 2 of the course. I recommend doing both parts 1 and 2, as this is a very good resource if you want to learn about numismatics in general. In part 2, there's a whole section about coin grading. I really hope you learned something from this introduction video. Thank you for watching.